and welcome to the TBV Show. Hopefully everybody is doing good. We're back with another episode, and yeah, man, hopefully you guys have enjoyed the first 5. We're now here with going into the second 5. Obviously we do 5 every single week, so Monday to Friday, and yeah, bless up to everybody. Hopefully everybody's doing good. Yeah, today's guest is Danny from Always Bayern Chelsea. So yeah, we're going to get him in just a second. Make sure you smash the likes, hit the subscribe button. I'll have the link for all of his socials and so on in the description. And yeah, without further ado, let's bring the guest in. How are you, bro?
Good, man. Thanks for having me. Happy to be here on the show, chatting it up with you. But yeah, like you said, I'm one half of the Always Bayern Chelsea YouTube channel, podcast, Twitter account, all that stuff. I do it with my good buddy Jim, who's a Chelsea fan. So that's where the name comes from. No, I'm not a Bayern and a Chelsea fan. I'm just a Bayern fan. But yeah, go ahead and check that out if you like what you hear and maybe want to hear more.
Yeah, no, 1,000, bro, 1,000. We will get into football, obviously, but I know that there's other things that are your hobbies and so on, and I want to get to know you a little bit better, and for the audience to get to know you a little bit better, because when you come on the Bayern View, it's Bayern Talk. When you go on Zia's channel, Zia Talks, it's Bayern Talk, and then obviously your own channel is Bayern Talk and Chelsea Talk. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, but yeah, what other things would you let people know? Like, what was your childhood like?
Yeah, so I'm from Wisconsin. I'm from the United States, southeastern Wisconsin. I live in Milwaukee now. Grew up in a little village kind of outside Milwaukee. And yeah, I mean, pretty standard, I would say, I guess, American childhood, which didn't include football, didn't include soccer, actually. It just wasn't really on my radar. It wasn't a big part of my life growing up. So I played American baseball, I guess, and tennis mostly growing up, and then American football a little bit, basketball, even volleyball. So I was kind of into all these other sports growing up, and other hobbies would include photography. That's my day job, I guess you could say. As much as I wish it was always Bayern Chelsea, my day job is photography right now. So I kind of like, things that are, I guess, maybe a little bit more artistic. I play guitar, music, photography, as well as, of course, sports. But yeah, as far as sports go, I grew up supporting Wisconsin sports teams, the Green Bay Packers, American football team, Milwaukee Brewers, Milwaukee Bucks. So yeah, that was kind of my my thing growing up.
Yeah. So for sports for you, because obviously from the UK, well, you won't know because you're not from the UK, but from the UK, it is football. Football's the main thing.
Yeah.
England are okay at cricket. I don't watch it, but they are. But it is mainly football. Obviously you've got loads of fans over here that are fans of American sports. But as an American yourself, what was your first love for sport? I mean, was it baseball?
Yeah, it was definitely baseball. That's what I played, when I was maybe 5, 6 years old, all the way through high school. And then I got really into tennis, when I started high school. So I was, 14 or so, 13 or 14 years old, when I started playing tennis, and got so into tennis that I did that every single day. But my first sporting love was definitely baseball.
So it's either way, obviously they're totally different sports, but it's same sort of thing where it's hitting the ball. Which one were you better at?
It's tough to say. I eventually became better at tennis because I became so obsessed with it. And I made our state tournament in high school. So that's the 50 or so best players in the state make that in high school, and eventually did that. But yeah, baseball, I was mostly a pitcher, played a little bit of first base, but I was kind of a relief pitcher. And our baseball team at my high school was really good, actually. They won the state tournament twice, which this was after I had stopped playing because I just dedicated all my time to tennis. So Eventually better at tennis, but I started out being better at baseball, I think.
So like with tennis, because I understand tennis way more than I understand baseball.
Yeah.
But like with tennis, like were you really really good at it? Because like I'm okay, but you know, like it's a lot of endurance, isn't it, tennis?
Yeah, it is. So I would say I started a little bit too late to be really, really good at it. Like the best players, the very best players in the state of Wisconsin were people who honestly like grew up wealthier and tennis, you know, where they can play at the country clubs all winter long and had been holding a tennis racket since they were 2 or 3 years old. You know, so those were like the best of the best players. And then I was probably in this like tier a little bit below them where I knew I wasn't going to beat them on skill, I guess. I wasn't going to hit it harder than them. So I kind of changed my style into this like weird style where I was hitting a lot of topspin and trying to hit like crazy angles and just out like run people basically, you know, keep the ball in play and just make them make a mistake and use a lot of spin and just run and run and run. So that was kind of um, my way of playing, basically similar to, I guess, Rafael Nadal. If you follow tennis at all, people would joke I had a crazy grip that I would use because nobody in America plays with all this topspin, and so that was kind of my shtick, I guess.
Yeah. So do you still play it, or did you like? Are you done now with it?
Yeah, I play it every once in a while. I don't play tournaments anymore or anything. I just play recreationally. But my younger brother actually, I kind of coached him up a little bit, and he just took second place in state. So
wow.
most of my playing in recent years has been just playing with him.
Damn, fair enough.
Yeah. So he's better than I ever was right now.
Do you think, without patting yourself on the back too much, do you think that's because of how good you were to help him?
I think it influenced it. He had other really good coaches and stuff too, but I at least I drove him around when he was too young to drive, and you know would play with him all the time. So I probably had a part in it.
No, I'm with you. Did you ever have like hobbies of like gaming or not?
Not really. Some of my friends are pretty into gaming, but I never got super into that.
Okay.
Yeah, I was more into like I said, guitar, photography, but I was also really into just the outdoors. Wisconsin is a really beautiful place to be, especially northern Wisconsin, and so I did a lot of hiking and camping and just stuff like that, backpacking.
So you were
Up.
very much an outside type child.
Yeah, definitely.
No, I hear it. I'm totally opposite. I'm like a couch potato. But no, I do understand because my missus is exactly the same. I was like, oh, what, you didn't stay in? Stay in. Stay in. Like doing this, doing that, and so on. So yeah, no, I do kind of understand. With others, were you ever into basketball or not?
Yeah, I was. I played basketball just recreationally, so not for like in the US it's called AAU. We have AAU leagues and then we have school teams. I didn't really play for any of those. I just kind of played in these like lower level. They're just called rec leagues.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I still play pickup basketball quite a bit these days, actually, just with some friends at
Just
local
like chilling.
parks.
Yeah. No, I get you. I always wanted to play it, and obviously, eventually, it come over, and obviously the NBA is massive, obviously way bigger, obviously in America, of course, but like over here, obviously because of the big stars like LeBron and so on and so forth, Kobe and Jordan and so on, obviously, you know, they did start. So we just had football goals in like the things around where I used to live, but then eventually they, you know, the football goals got the bloody thing with the hoop and everything. So, and I used to have a hoop on the back of my house, where I used to try and dunk. It definitely was way too small. Going because when I was 10, I went to America. I went to Florida for like all of the I was about to say camps, all of the attractions. You know, they're like Disney Park, Epcot,
Yeah.
Universal, so on. And we actually, lucky enough, went to an Orlando Magic's game.
Nice.
So yeah, when you deep it, there's me jumping off like skitting up the wall to like jump, and then you actually see how big the freaking thing is, and I'm like, oh yeah, definitely not gonna be able to do that.
Yeah, I would lower my hoop. I had a basketball hoop that I could like lower down to a lower height, and I would do that and just dunk all the time.
Yeah, no, yeah, fully with that.
Yeah.
Fully with that, because that was the same for me.
Yeah.
You into like movies or anything?
More so music. Yeah, more so music. I wouldn't call myself any sort of a savant when it comes to cinema, but I enjoy movies here and there.
What's your favorite movie?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I like I like Caddyshack a lot, Big Lebowski, kind of the like older at this point
Films.
comedies. Yeah.
No, I'm with it. Are you not into like any of the like superhero films?
Not really. I was into Harry Potter growing up because that's kind of like around the age I am. It was really big, and I read all the books a bunch of times. So yeah, like read the books, watched the movies, and I was into that in terms of a series. Lord of the Rings, I like, but yeah, never really got into the superhero stuff that much.
No, you're talking to. I wouldn't say I'm a super fan of Harry Potter.
Yeah,
but I'm a big fan. We've got like most of the Funko Pops over there.
Nice.
Me and the missus absolutely love it. We went to Harry Potter Studios in London, where they were filming it and so on. And I can't remember what she bought, but I bought a wand, the Elder wand, the main one. Who's your favorite character?
My favorite character, I think, is Snape. I like the Half-Blood Prince is my favorite. I just like his whole character arc is awesome, and I love it. I love the scene at the end where Harry's like looking through his memory. He's inside of his memory. Yeah, that's awesome.
No, I'm fully with it. Like we must have watched those. I'm trying to think. The missus has definitely watched it way more than me, but must have watched those films over like all of them, probably like 5 to 10 times. Like there are a lot of films. So but yeah, my favorite character is Voldemort. I'm evil. I just like the like the aspect of his whole story, of the Horcruxes and splitting his his soul, which is a bit mad. But when he comes back in the later films and goes against Dumbledore, it's like that scene where Dumbledore's obviously is trying to save Harry. Like that's like my I've watched that scene on YouTube probably 100 times. I love that. When they're like, doing the whole thing where he's like whoosh, and all of that shit, like
so sick.
But I love those films. Absolutely love those films. But yeah, like I'm into most things, to be honest with you. I wouldn't really say anything I'm not into other than horror. Do you like horror movies?
I like the older horror movies. Like the original Halloween series I love. Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. I love all that stuff. I would like growing up, I would try to like sneak downstairs when my parents were like asleep or like weren't home and just try to watch those around Halloween. I've seen some of the more recent horror films too, which I actually do like Midsommar, if you want to consider that to be horror. It's kind of like thriller, horror, whatever. So I like some of those, definitely, but the older ones are my favorites.
So like from what I'm understanding, you like more classic films.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's just because I maybe don't watch films as much these days or whatever. It's just something about them just reminds me of I don't know.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. Is what it is, you know what I mean? Like that's why one thing why I love playing games. It's because I did that as a kid, you know what I mean? So but with music, what sort of music do you like playing?
Yeah, a lot of different stuff. My favorite band is the Grateful Dead, which is, I know, like maybe a controversial opinion because I feel like they're a band that people either love or they hate. But I really love the like improvisational nature of it, and just all these like classic songs, and just like every show is so different. You know, they played thousands and thousands of shows, and like I don't know, I love that stuff, and that's the most fun for me to play, is to just get together, you know, or solo by myself, but either way, you know, kind of get into like an improvisational jam where you're just kind of like making it up as you go along. And when you hit it, like when you're playing with other people and you hit it and you like ride that same wave together, it's just awesome. It's just awesome. But I also like play a lot of like weirder, like old folk music from like a long time ago. I find all that stuff really interesting. American blues, like the old time, like 1920s American blues, all that stuff. You know, there's a lot of great music that, you know, American music that really influenced a lot down the chain, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, because obviously I know certain things. I'm not going to sit here and, you know, be able to tell you certain things, but like obviously I know about Elvis. You know, Elvis Presley. You know, obviously I think if there's anyone, unless you were born like in the last 10 years, that doesn't know about Elvis Presley, like and how much of a rock star he was. But yeah, other than that, again, I know the main ones. You know what I mean? Michael Jackson. And then obviously all of the rappers, because that's what I'm into. But like, what sort of? I can see the guitar in the background. What is it? A guitar that you play? Do you play anything else?
Pretty much just guitar. I have like played bass guitar before, but I don't. Anything I know about the bass guitar is just distilled down from the 6-string guitar. So
okay. So yeah, just okay. That's cool. I used to have a guitar, but it was out of tune. And it was Put it this way: those days are better not being re-listened to. You know, dang, all of the terrible. Didn't know how to play it whatsoever. But hey, I wanted a guitar and I got one, so I can't complain.
There you go.
To be honest with you, other than like tennis, like with tennis actually. With tennis, obviously you said you played it and you did tournaments and so on. Was it like, because obviously some people are in it where it's like they play it but don't watch it? Like, were you heavily watching it as well or not?
Yeah, I was more heavily playing it, but I definitely watched it a lot too. And like I said, my favorite tennis player was Rafael Nadal, so I watched all of his matches. He just had this incredible spirit and fight and energy that was just so infectious and fun to watch. And like his rivalry with Federer is a big reason why I started to like tennis in the first place. And that was, in my opinion, one of the greatest sporting rivalries of all time. You know, righty versus lefty, fire versus ice. Federer was so silky smooth, an artist. He made it look effortless. And then Nadal was just this like bull who was like every point he was playing it like he was going to die if he lost it, and was pumping his fists and like all that stuff. So long hair, bandanas, you know, I loved all of that. And like, yeah, just watching some of those matches. And then Djokovic enters the picture too and becomes another all-time great. And it's like this three-way rivalry of probably the three best players of all time, three best male players of all time, at least. And, you know, it was just crazy, a crazy time to be a fan of tennis when I was growing up.
No, I'm with you. What's the guy called? Oh, I should know this. He won a gold medal. I want to say he's English, but I don't know if he's from somewhere else. Might actually be Scottish. What is his name? I feel so stupid not knowing his name. But yeah, he was like the guy I used to watch. Let me go.
Yeah. Somebody who's still playing, or somebody who
Andy Murray.
Oh, Andy Murray. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because obviously being you know, around, he is British. Yeah, he's British. Okay.
Yeah, and he won Wimbledon a couple, I think at least twice. So yeah. He was like knocking on the door. They kind of had a big four rivalry at one point, but Murray kind of faded out after a while, had some injuries and whatnot. But yeah, he was like challenging Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic when nobody else could at that point.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And I remember like because he was doing so good. That's why I got into tennis. I'm not into it as much as obviously football and so on, which we'll get into, of course.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, no, is that the same? Is that the same with baseball as well? Like, were you watching a lot of that?
Yeah. I was all Milwaukee Brewers growing up. Obviously, growing up close to Milwaukee, we'd go to the games. Tailgating is a big part of the culture here in Wisconsin, in Milwaukee. So the stadiums are just surrounded by parking lots, and you go and you like bring your grill and you grill out and all that stuff, and like throw the baseball around in the parking lot, throw bean bags around, and just all that stuff. So that was a really fun thing to do growing up. And the Brewers have been historically not good. They've never won a World Series, but this might be the year. I always say this might be the year, but they're actually they have the best record in baseball right now, and the playoffs are just starting, so it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, 85-year-old Danny. This year will be
this year. Yeah, the Brewers, man, lately they've been a team that's been good, and like they make the playoffs, but they can never get over the hump, and they can never like win a World Series or even get to a World Series, honestly.
No, I hear you. Were you ever into ice hockey?
No, I wasn't. There was like a brief stretch in college where I like watched it a lot. But we have a AHL team here, so like below the NHL in Milwaukee, the Admirals. Been to a few of their games. They're really fun to go to. And then at this point in college, when I was trying to watch a little bit of ice hockey, I was a fan of the Minnesota Wild because they're the closest team to me in Milwaukee, outside of the Chicago Blackhawks. And Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and Illinois, Chicago have a huge rivalry, so I would never root for a team from Chicago, basically.
Okay. No, I hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I have no clue. The only thing I've ever watched on ice hockey is the fights, or like the compilation.
Yeah, those are fun.
Have you ever seen any of those live?
Not really. At some of the Admirals games I had been to, there was one where I like sat right on the glass, and people were getting checked into the glass right where I was sitting. And there was one play where like the goalie kind of came out and got hit, and that was as close as I really ever saw to a real fight. It wasn't like gloves off, we're punching each other, but it was some big hits for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. What's going to like what's a baseball game like? Going to like one of those?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, with the Brewers in Wisconsin, the tailgating is a huge part of it. And honestly, like beer is just big in Wisconsin, so it's just a lot of beer drinking and whatnot. But yeah, it's a whole day basically. You go, you know, you have food, all that stuff, like probably all the stereotypes, peanuts, and you know.
So it sounds like a complete vibe.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And have you ever been to a basketball game?
Yeah, I've been to a lot actually, because right now I live really close to the Milwaukee Bucks stadium. Like I can walk there. So I'll go to multiple Bucks games a year. There was a point in my life when I was maybe like 16 or 17 where the Bucks were so bad. They had the second draft pick, so they were the second worst team in the league, or one of the worst teams in the league that year. And so the tickets were so cheap. They had an old stadium. It's since been demolished and a new one was built, but it was an old stadium. They were so bad. I got like 15 games for like such an outrageously low price, and I went to 15 games that year and just sat super far away from the court and just had a good time. So been a Bucks fan for a while, and they won the finals in 2021 or whatever, 2020 with the COVID. So 2021, and that was awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now, and it's like, who's your best player?
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I know exactly. Yeah. I know.
He's one of the best players in the NBA for sure.
Have you seen him live?
Yeah.
What's that like?
He's crazy. I've been like really close to him too, just in the city before. And he is just a beast. I mean, he's so tall and strong and like athletic. He's this weird mix that's, you know, people call it like a unicorn athletically and physically. He's just so tall and long that he can take a couple steps and basically dunk, and it's pretty much impossible to guard him at all.
Do you think he'll ever leave?
Maybe there's been talks about it. He has an interesting backstory. He was, he's African, but he grew up in Greece and was like, his family was poor. He sold trinkets and stuff on the streets just to try to help his family make ends meet. So he's this really like humble guy who came to Milwaukee, a relatively unknown guy, and all of a sudden became big in Milwaukee. And I think he really, really does enjoy it in Milwaukee. I don't know if he would enjoy going to like a big market team like LA or New York or something. So I think he's going to stay for the time being. But I mean, he won us a championship, and there's always, basketball, especially, players move around a lot. And, I never would say he's going to stay here forever.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. But yeah, that shows how much I know, because I know exactly who he is, but I didn't know he played for your team.
Yeah.
But like overall, what is Milwaukee famous for?
It's famous for beer and cheese, basically. Beer, cheese, and sausages, bratwurst. There's a huge German, especially Bavarian, like influence here, just because of where people migrated from and where the settlers came from. So it really is like Milwaukee had a ton of breweries. A lot of them, there's still the Miller Brewery, but a lot of stuff is obviously different than when the town was first becoming a big city or a town or whatever. And so, yeah, it really is like a blue collar town. There's that Midwest vibe, I guess. Midwest nice, there's people are friendly and overall just will talk to you on the street, and they're pretty nice, pretty chill. But yeah, it's also like right on a big lake, which is awesome, Lake Michigan, and there's the Milwaukee River, and there's a good park system, so there's good natural areas, as well as being a smaller city, so you get that stuff too.
What's like, is it like, do you get like a lot of beautiful sights being a photographer?
Yeah, definitely. If you know where to look. I mean, like any city, there's parts that are not so nice, and there's parts that are nice, and there's a really big I would say like melting pot of cultures here. There's an area that's Hispanic, there's an area that's like Polish or Italian or whatever, but yeah, like German is the overall the biggest ancestry from this area.
No, I'm with you. Because Harley-Davidson, I'm from right by saying, is from Milwaukee, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's a big thing. Yeah, Harley-Davidson is here. There's a festival every year where everybody rides their Harleys down to the lake and parks them right by my house, and I hear them going up and down the street for like a week straight. So yeah, it's cool though.
What's that like? Like, I'm guaranteed from what I'm understanding, is it like very much, because I've seen videos, but you obviously live it in that aspect. So like, is it really like the videos where they're literally just thousands of bikes?
Yeah, for that festival, yes, they all just come and like, yeah, go down to the lake for a festival. There's concerts, there's food, all that stuff. Yeah, so for that time of year it is. And overall in Wisconsin, in Milwaukee, the winters are really brutal, so people are all outside in the summer, and like people are riding their Harleys and riding their motorcycles for sure all throughout the summer, because everybody kind of crams in all the outdoor activities in the summer.
No, I get you. Especially if they only really have, that time, they're going to make the most of it, aren't they? Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Because some of the bikes, like, and again, I've only seen it from video. I haven't seen it obviously in person. But some of the bikes I see are like, what the, like, these like big, like, obviously I know what a Harley-Davidson is, one of the coolest bikes. But like in general, like the framework and so on, like properly like sat back.
Yeah. Those are badass, and they're so loud too. Yeah, those are cool.
No, I hear it. And I guess, you got it quite literally is this, isn't it? The fact that, you know, Harley-Davidson, which is bikes and bikers and so on and so forth. Then you add on food,
Yep.
and then you add on beer. You know what I mean? So,
Yep.
like that must be, you know, the culture as a whole. You know what I mean? Having that.
It is. Yeah, and it's a lot of like cheese, like I said. Wisconsin is known for cheese curds here. We have deep fried cheese curds, and that's the thing.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, they're really good. So you put that on, and you get a liter of beer, and you're good.
What it's gonna sound mad, but what are they? The cheese curd things?
They're literally like, so a regular cheese curd is, and people will call deep fried cheese curds. So there's I don't know, it gets mixed up, but like a true regular cheese curd is literally like a block of cheese, you know, like big, like a little bit bigger than a quarter, and obviously 3-dimensional. And it's literally like a block of cheese, and there's different kinds of cheeses, you know, yellow cheese, white cheese, you can make into curds, and they like squeak when you bite into them. So that's kind of that's what you're getting at. And then the deep fried ones are literally just a block of cheese deep fried
with some batter. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it seems like in my head, from what I'm hearing, like probably perfect to go with a beer.
Yeah, definitely perfect to go with a beer.
And then obviously if there's a load of German over there as well in like the culture, then the sausages come as well. So
yeah, and the Bavarian pretzels, those are big too. Yeah,
pretzels, man. now you're talking.
Yeah, it's good.
I love pretzels, man. Which I probably shouldn't, because, you know, I don't think you should eat a whole one yourself. But
yeah. Sometimes you gotta.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you got it. On football, though, obviously, a lot of people will know you as obviously always buying Chelsea and so on and so forth. And like I said, obviously you've come on my main channel, the Buying Views, Ears channel, obviously your own channel is football. Where did your love for soccer, football come from?
Yeah, so this is something that Jim and I on our channel, Always Bayern Chelsea, talk about sometimes, but we're like relatively new into this sport, into this game. And obviously, like I said, I didn't grow up with it here. It really wasn't, you know, some people played, but it wasn't a big thing. And so Jim kind of started watching it a number of years ago, and I like started getting into it. And Jim and I have been best friends since we were 5 years old. We met in kindergarten and have the same birthday. So that's kind of like when you're 5 years old and you meet somebody and they have the same birthday, it's like, all right, we're best friends. And so, yeah, like we've been best friends, and Jim was getting into it. I started watching it. And then the way that I fell in love with Bayern and became totally obsessed with Bayern was my girlfriend's parents are part of the Bayern Munich fan club in Milwaukee here, Mia-san Milwaukee. Wow. So they're like super fans. And, you know, I was like getting into soccer, and they're German, you know, not from Germany, but they're very German ancestors and everything. Yeah. And so they, you know, we would hang out at the old German beer hall in downtown Milwaukee in the beer gardens, and we would be watching all these Bayern games. And it got to a point where I was just like I'm obsessed with this. And then I went all in, you know, listening to podcasts every day, watching YouTube videos every day, watching old matches, you know, watching every match as they were happening, and just like diving into the history of this club. And like, they're my favorite sports team in the world right now. And again, like I grew up supporting sports teams, and I just became so obsessed with Bayern that like I was Bayern all the time. And yeah, really just from like watching these matches with the fan club, and all the old German beer hall festivities, you know, these old guys running up and down the hall screaming. And I was like, oh, this is so awesome. Like this is so intense. This is for me.
Yeah, no, I love to hear it, man. You know what I mean? Like, and again, you talk about beer, you talk about football, soccer, whatever you want to call it. You know, they go together, put it that way. And that's coming from someone that's English. Not that I drink, but in general, they're known for their drink as well. But so basically, what you're telling me is, if you never went along, or you were never with your girl, you might not be a Bayern fan.
It might not be Bayern. Yeah, I would, like I said, like Jim,
Do you think you'd be a Chelsea fan?
I don't know if I'd be a Chelsea fan. Like
I
wish
you got to remember you're thinking of it as a Bayern fan.
I know. I wish I could like explain it better, but like
Yeah.
it just all clicked to me. Like at the beer hall, it was like I'm just so in love with this. I'm so obsessed with this. And I don't get that feeling from watching other teams. And again, maybe I would have, but like, yeah, Jim became a Chelsea fan. The Premier League is obviously more accessible. It's they speak English, so it's easier to understand as an American.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if I would have thought to follow the Bundesliga like I do, but yeah, I mean the Bundesliga is my favorite league. I don't really watch much outside of it unless Bayern's playing other teams. Some of the big teams I watch in other leagues, and then I watch Chelsea, with Jim. So I eventually see all these Premier League teams and stuff, but I watch like multiple Bundesliga matches every week, and yeah, that's my favorite brand of football. So I'm glad it all worked out the way that it did.
No, fully. So would you say you're a Bundesliga fan as well, rather than just being a Bayern fan? Because obviously you're a Bayern fan, I understand that, but like you're a fan of that league as well.
Yeah, I am. Like I said, I watch multiple Bundesliga matches a week. I watch Bayern every single time they play, and I watch old Bayern matches and stuff. So I'm first and foremost a Bayern fan, but but I do love the Bundesliga. Like the atmosphere is there, the style of play. I just love it all. Yeah.
No, I'm with you. But who else do you like? Do you have like a soft spot? Because I'm the same. I'm the same with you. As in, like, I barely watch any game. Like, if I was to catch a game of football and it's a Premier League game or it's a Serie A game or whatever, like, don't get it twisted. I'm not going to sit here and say I've never watched a different game, because I have. Yeah. But like, I am generally the same as you. Like, what's the most recent game I watched? I can't think off the top of my head. No, I can't think off the top of my head. But either way, I watched a game and like I just wasn't really into it. Like I was watching it and it's cool and it's like, yes, that's a good play, this. But I don't have passion for those players. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where, when you put on that Bayern shirt, and you're wearing that crest, which means everything to me. You know what I mean? And I'm sure you're exactly the same as me. You know, like then I can get angry at you, as I'm probably sure you've seen on the other channel. And then I can be happy and so on. But like, do you have like a soft spot for like any other German team?
Yeah, probably St. Pauli. I like what they're all about. And I think that they're doing awesome right now up in the Bundesliga. I love the whole ethos around that club. So they're a fun one. I like just some of these smaller clubs too in general. Like Heidenheim, I think, is a great story, even though they suck this year. I think they're a great story. So I do have like a little bit of a soft spot for some clubs like that.
No, I hear it. What about like players in like the league? Like
yeah. Well, Jackson Irvine is St. Pauli's captain. I like him a lot. I think he's a great player. I like what he's about. And otherwise, like I'm not really huge on specific players. Maybe some German national team players. I start to watch the German national team and whatnot. I was pretty big on Marmouche and Ekiteke last year on Frankfurt. I just thought that they were ballers. I'm never gonna like root for them, especially against Bayern, but I just thought they were ballers. And they were just an electric team, Frankfurt, to watch last year, especially with those two guys up top. So, yeah, there's guys here and there that I like, but nobody really holds a candle to a Bayern player for me.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you fully, bro. Because like that's the way I see it as well. You know what I mean? Like, I liked Erling Haaland. I didn't like the shirt he was wearing. Not at all, but I liked him. I liked the way he come on and so on. Like that's one of the games I would have said I did watch. When that buzz around, Dortmund have signed Haaland when he could have gone to this club or that club or whatever, I was like, oh, okay. So I'll watch the game, and I did watch that game, and then obviously he come on and scored. I think it was a hat trick, and then got an assist as well in the first game. So like him, Marmouche is one that I really wish we got. And he's suffering at City right now. That City team is crap.
Yeah.
But were you ever into, like, from being a Bayern fan and obviously getting to love the sport and so on, did you ever like push to like an MLS team or not?
Not really. Just because, so there's no team really close to me at all. The closest team would be the Chicago Fire, and like I mentioned before,
Chicago.
I can't root for a Chicago team at all. There's a few teams that like tangentially I kind of like, but I don't really follow them.
Mhm.
Cincinnati, just because I went to the Bayern game in Cincinnati against Auckland City, so like I got a little bit of that culture. Like met the Bayern fan club guys in Cincinnati. Went to their stadium, which was a really cool soccer specific stadium. Minnesota, I have a little bit of I have a lot of friends who live up near Minnesota, so I have a little bit of a soft spot for some Minnesota teams that aren't rivals of Milwaukee teams. Like I'm not Wisconsin teams. I'm not a Vikings fan at all, but like I mentioned, the Minnesota Wild. There's a team in Minnesota, MLS team in Minnesota that I could see myself supporting. Now it's like Muller's in Vancouver, so it's like I kind of want them to do well. But yeah, I don't really have an MLS team. I don't really follow the MLS that closely.
No, I'm with you. What about again, it might be similar, but what about LAFC? Did you ever want to support them because of their connection with Bayern? So obviously they're partners, aren't they?
Yeah, not really. I never really supported them, but yeah, I mean, like I wouldn't be opposed to seeing them do well.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Yeah, because they got Human Son and he's doing it good for them. But I watched one of their games, terrible.
It's kind of hard to watch the MLS when you go from Bundesliga to MLS. Yeah,
facts, 100%. What about like the US national team?
Yeah, I think they're kind of a mess right now. It's weird with the U.S. men's national team. There's a lot of problems that I see with it, and this is probably a big conversation to have. But first of all, the soccer system in U.S. is pretty much pay to play, which means you get a lot of people who are maybe good enough just being unable to afford being able to play, really. And that's a huge problem. That's probably the biggest problem and where a lot of the problems stem from, in my opinion. But there's just like a lot of politics when it comes to the soccer system in America. Like I've tried to learn as much as I can about it. Being a fan of the sport, obviously. Milwaukee was supposed to get a team, a USL team. It sounds like that's not happening because there hasn't been any movement on it, but no one's officially said it isn't happening. So we'll see. But I think the biggest problem for like the U.S. men's national team in general is, there's this huge debate right now. Do the players care about it or do they not? I don't want to just bash the players or bash the pundits because I think they both have issues, I guess. But I do think that with other countries, people care way more about their country than even their club team a lot. And with America, I just think it's the opposite. These players are playing for sometimes big clubs in other countries. And they just seem like they care more about their club teams than they do about the U.S. men's team.
Okay. No, I'm with you. Because that is one thing, isn't it? It's like it is very rare to see an American player in Europe. Obviously you have a lot of obviously in American players, obviously in America, and so on. But like, I mean, like properly good ones, without being too disrespectful. Like, Pulisic's done really, really good for himself. Obviously went to Chelsea, obviously AC Milan now, obviously Reina, another good one, but he seems to have issues in himself to do with his mum and so on and so forth, which we won't get into. Is it Pepe? Is that how you say his name, the striker?
Yep.
He was actually linked to us. I remember him being linked to us. But yeah, he went. Where did he go? I think he's in the Netherlands, I believe. PSV, I think it is.
I think he's PSV. Yeah.
PSV, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's like Robinson and Joe Scally. There's a couple guys, but they're not like really big names. I mean, Pulisic's the only one who's, I don't know, a pretty big name, I would say.
Yeah. No, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. What can you explain to me? What is a butter burger?
Yeah, I mean it's literally like what it sounds like. It's a burger with a lot of butter on it. The buns are buttered. The burger itself has butter like on it sometimes. Really, really good. But just like you would expect, I guess, out of Wisconsin food. There's a lot of like comfort food like that. So bad for you, but so good. Similar
Yeah,
to a cheese curd.
sounds good, man. Sounds
Yeah,
good. I'm having to take a trip, man. To be honest
yeah,
with
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Same thing with what's a cream puff? Cream puffs.
A cream puff, yeah, that is. This might be a hot take. To me, cream puffs are a little bit overrated. They're really good. You get them at the Wisconsin State Fair. Those are the most popular ones. It's literally just like this really fluffy, like breading, just filled with essentially like whipped cream. It's kind of like a sandwich. It's like two like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
fluffy things with powdered sugar and like fried bread, and then it's just like whipped cream essentially in the middle of it. It's so rich, so sweet, and so rich. And I'm not the biggest fan of sweets, I guess. I'm more savory over sweet, but
Okay.
a cream puff is good. I'll get one and I'll like split it with my girlfriend once a year. And so I'll have like half a cream puff once a year, and that's like all I need. It's good
Yeah.
for that one time, but I would never go out and just,
Constantly
rip
get.
multiple cream puffs every day. Yeah, no way.
No, I'm with you. So yeah. Last thing, photography. What got you into photography?
Yeah, so I first got into photography just because of my love for the outdoors, love for hiking. So I would go hiking pretty much every week, every weekend when I got my driver's license and was able to drive myself places. And I was kind of just like, man, how do I look at this when I'm stuck at home or like when the weather sucks or whatever. So I just started taking photos on my phone and then kind of slowly upgraded to a shitty camera and a better camera and learned editing softwares and that was how I started with photography. And then I kind of branched out to a bunch of different things, portraiture, product photography, event photography, and yeah, now it's my job.
Yeah. No, I'm with it. Man. So yeah, there's the podcast done, people. Hopefully you have enjoyed. And yeah, man. Thank you for coming on, man. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Again, if you like what I have to say, check out more at Always Bayern Chelsea. And if you're just a Bayern fan, I do time code all the videos, so you can just fast forward to that stuff. But Jim's got some good stuff to say too.
No, Jim's a good one. Jim's a good one.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for watching, people. And yeah, until then, we're out. Peace out.
Peace.